All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Mr. Mo.
And I am Tiff.
And today we have a special.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
She's impressed.
She is. Take that.
If you checked out last week podcast, we began to talk about us, meeting and coming into each other's eyesights for the first time. Then we had to pull it back because we didn't want to do no spoiler alerts, right?
That's a lot.
And we wanted y'all to hear it from a person who was actually really there. But
Before
we get started, we have to introduce our guests. So I'm gonna have my wife break this one down.
Oh man.
Cool.
Right. From the 2006?
I thought you were saying 99, 2000.
It could have been.
Yeah, it was,
2006. The Facebook era.
You know what I'm saying?
I bring to you guys my friend.
My
That's a long
cousin.
time
Period.
ago.
Yes, a long time.
Jeez, this is
It's
2024.
been a long time.
2024,
No, it really has been a
2006.
long time.
Long.
Like, well, let's not give dates because then it make it seem like we're outdated. Let's just say a long time.
That sound long.
That sounds long.
You
A
know,
long
then that
time
thing
ago.
people be thinking in the 1900s. Yeah, we were
That's when you tell them mind their business.
Right.
If
But
I
we
don't
can
send the
say
limo,
We were Facebook back when it was .edu.
Yeah,
That's how long ago it was.
yeah. And the only way you can get on Facebook was through a college email.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did not have a college email, you
You
can't
were
get
not
on.
there. So,
Yep,
yeah.
that's how we
a long time ago.
A long time ago.
far away.
Jesus.
Don't be talking about Jesus.
Thank you for keeping us, Father.
For real. Thank you for keeping us. 'Cause it's been years. Like when you
My
put a
Lord.
date on it.
Yeah.
That's why I said let's just stop doing that.
Let's not do that.
Makes me
I
feel
mean,
uncomfortable a little bit.
Why? That's one of those. We look good. Look.
I mean, we do. Don't get me wrong.
That ain't great.
Sexier than most.
I'm like,
I'm not dealing. But this is my friend.
Well, this is our friend.
She's my. Okay.
Don't do it. She's my friend first.
She's my friend.
I was.
She's my friend first. She's my best.
I was.
Jesus.
My bestie. My Miss Hold 'em Down. We go ride out. All of the
For
things.
sure.
Yeah, all of the things we did.
Let me
we'll
whisper.
say it. But all of the things we did literally before all of the things was all of the thing. We were doing all of the things.
Guess we'll have to find what all those things are later on.
Later on. But Miss Janae.
Oh, are we giving governments? You got an alias? You just say,
She goes by Janae.
Yeah.
wow, you got some good friends. My friend be like, whoa, don't do that.
Because your type
Man.
of stuff your friends did.
She got some more.
I'm Joe.
No.
You Jerome, my boy. Man, stop playing.
You gotta
for
camouflage
real.
his voice.
Jerome
That be
today.
for real, man. Stop playing for real, man.
You got to put the voice scrambler in
You
there.
do?
You got some good friends.
Oh my god.
I be like, you sure? Yeah, they good. Fine with the government for real. God.
Look, I am fine with the government.
Fine with the government.
Fine.
I can't.
Sorry,
Too much.
that's new.
That took you all the way
You know what I'm
back.
saying?
Like, wait a minute.
I got friends going in my head. Don't even say their real name.
Listen.
Wow.
That's how. But that's how
We're going to talk about that.
I mean,
That's how we
listen.
roll.
Yes,
I mean-
we're going to talk about that. We're going all the way back.
Man, I got some stuff I'm working on.
Listen.
That's why I use Joe.
I'm done. I can't.
Go ahead.
But our friend,
Yes.
my friend before he was your friend, she was your friend.
I would say she's a friend in the family.
She is.
Yes.
Friend, more
I'll
like
take
family.
that.
Yeah,
I'll take
definitely
Listen,
more like family.
Listen, don't get it twisted. don't cross it. It can
Don't
go
try.
down. I'm trying to tell you.
No, yeah.
We're like, yeah, we don't put on the all black anymore.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
Don't.
anymore.
Just okay.
But still, don't try it.
This is why we gotta use aliases. That's why.
That's why we gotta-
my side has
That's
to
why
use
you're
aliases.
right.
They fine, but I'm trying to let you go ahead.
But back in the day, from 2006 all the way now to the 2024, I'm gonna do the years because that's just. I mean, people gotta know. People gotta know that it's the history here.
Yeah.
You know, the friend who we don't have to talk every day. We pick up the phone and we pick right back up like it never ended.
How many of us have those though?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a
We
lot.
talk about that sometime down the line. You know, like because that's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that you guys should know, I met her on social media,
Yes.
on Facebook.
Yes.
On Facebook. So it is an honor and a pleasure to have her here because she knows all of the juicy details.
She does
Yes.
The good, the bad, the indifferent.
and do. And do.
You can probably write a book for us. We ain't got to write it.
And
So
look, and fun fact, never told a soul.
look at that.
You gotta have you some friends like that.
You gotta hate friends.
Call that lock and key.
Lock the key. Right.
Lock and key. To the point to where I was like, hold on, y'all. What are we sharing?
Right.
Let me know.
So we're gonna I guess we don't say names. Gotta kind of treat this like a book.
Okay.
Those who are not in this room
Okay.
right now we'll treat as Joe.
Okay.
And not you,
give
Joe, in
alias.
case you watching.
Okay.
You know, you date somebody named Joe?
No, I didn't.
All right, see, so Joe is good.
Okay, yeah, Joe is good.
Joe or Bam Bam or
I know a Bam Bam for real, so we can't use that one.
We do know.
don't.
Sorry,
no,
Bam
Joe
Bam.
it is. Joe.
We're gonna stick with it.
I
We'll
thought
stick with
Bam
Joe.
Bam was like from
No,
Flintstones.
No.
All right, Ray Ray.
No.
Can't use Ray Ray.
We
Golly.
just gonna stick with Joe.
Yeah.
Let me just go with something that like Sam.
Nah, okay.
Yeah, we could do Sam.
We can
Jake.
do Sam.
From State Farm.
Yeah.
There
we
you
can
go.
do-
There you go.
There you
I
go.
like Jake from State
Yeah,
Farm.
we'll do
Okay, fine, cool. Let's go. Let's roll with it.
So where we starting at?
I think it's good to start with. First of all, let's start with an intro because it's just kind of rude just to just kind of jump right in there like that. Let's give a little backstory as far as like how was your day today? Like let's start slow.
How was my day?
How was your day today?
My day was pretty good. How was yours?
Now you see
and
why
this
we're
is
friends.
it.
So if you
This
watched
is
this 2 episodes
exactly
ago,
why.
you would understand why we're
Wow.
friends.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all just seen that, right? You can't make this stuff up here. You can't. It's impossible.
But are we starting with our intro of how you all met? Or the prequel? Because I feel like the prequel of before you all met will really get us into why the meeting of you two was so special.
Okay. Well then, let's get into the prequel.
The prequel.
And who better else to cause it's like she let the fly on the wall.
She know what I
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
mean. She knows or she was there.
so where are we going with this?
Let's start from the
Yeah.
and go from there.
All right, let's go.
All right. Who's leading off?
You want to lead off?
You lead us off, so then I know where to jump in.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. What's that? 2006, right?
We're giving dates.
Yeah, that's how that's how I process.
Okay.
Just say it in your head.
Okay. You
Who's round? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot because you got people. My bad. I'm sorry.
Really?
Oh, now I know. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, in the beginning.
It's too late now.
Right,
If
already
I don't send the limo,
don't get in there. Right. I ain't sitting there, cost, so don't get in. So I think the time where I had first met you was a pivotal moment because I was just coming out of a rocky relationship anyway.
with Jake.
With Jake from State Farm. I don't even know which Jake from State Farm, but hey. and it was a long-term relationship at that I was coming up out of, and it was a little bit different because it was.
Hold up, is this Jake or John?
Let's go with Jake. We done already started.
Okay, keep going.
he has a reason for this.
Yeah, I do. You see,
I got your reason, but anyway, keep going.
So,
whoa.
it was. I wasn't looking, but actually around that time, audience. Facebook was not on. Facebook had just come into play, but prior to Facebook, us millennials, we were all on MySpace.
We were MySpace.
So we were MySpace, and some of us were beginning to branch off to Facebook because it was a new platform, and because most of us were in college, and that was how we were able to communicate between both platforms. So MySpace was very active.
Very much so, yes.
Very, very active.
Trust.
But Janae and I really didn't meet. Our communication was between both, but it was Facebook that really actually brought us to meet face to face, because we were communicating as well without meeting. And then our initial meeting was on a local college campus here that we both were attending. And so I invited her out to an event that I was going to be at to get her out of the house because she was a homebody.
Yes, and look, and surprisingly enough, that event was a turning point in my life too.
Wow.
Yeah, it had made some further decisions for me down the road, but we'll just leave that there. But yes,
Bing, put a pin in that one.
right there.
I'm trying to, yeah.
If you have a hard time, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're up there in age.
I can't. We all here. Okay.
But that was the initial meeting.
Yeah.
For us and
and
for you all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For us.
But I did some things back in the day
That you don't remember.
that killed my brain cells. Go ahead.
So sad. But that was because it was that's right, because I had just met you. I had just met Joe, and then so there was a Joe, but yeah. And then
Look at the look on his face.
Sorry,
and
Joe.
so we were hanging out, and then that was when I met you as well.
Okay.
Um,
Now, did we meet or no? Like we talking about like
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely, we did not meet then. When we first met online.
okay, that's what we talking about. Okay,
Okay.
Context, because when you
Yeah,
said,
gotcha.
I'm thinking like, hold on, I didn't meet you
No,
until
you didn't meet
Yeah,
me.
no.
I'm doing numbers in my head.
No.
No.
So the initial meeting with everyone. So with Janae and who are you, Mo?
I'm Mo.
Mo.
I was born Mo. I'm gonna die Mo.
You gonna die? God. It's gonna be like a 3-part series.
We'll break it up.
And so our first initial meeting was all social media. So let's just kind of put that out there so that everybody knows. So social media was the way that I connected with Janae, being that she was back in the city. And then was how I ultimately connected with Mo, because Mo was here, and then Janae was helping me scope out the profile and set up the playlist to bring the attention to the profile.
They ran plays on the brother,
Hold on now.
doing the audible and everything.
No.
I cannot. No.
Blue Diamond, Blue Diamond.
cannot.
Run the Blue Diamond.
No,
Girl, he crazy. Nah, go ahead.
I cannot.
No. I do remember from the initial meeting, it was like, hey, this guy, he's kind of cool. He's kind of different. And we were like, but he's too far.
He's too far.
He's too far.
He's a little too far.
Wow,
He can just be a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just too far.
Because you did. Yeah.
So immediately friend zone. Listen, those who have been friend zone, stay to the end so you can get to the end zone.
But that was one of the things is you were too far. So it was I was looking for someone closer.
So you were actually in the looking scene.
Okay, so
you were singling and mingling, or
yeah.
Okay.
Mo looking at me like, so
you know,
I have no comment.
Each answer will be like, yeah.
I'm just here.
Yeah, I mean, I was newly single.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so it was just I was open to
mingling.
Yeah. But I was picky about the openness to me.
Obviously, if a brother's too far.
You were too far.
Well, yeah, and then too. So to give some context to this, the relationship that she was in prior to this, it was one to where it was betrayal, and she found out like a whole lot, and it was like just dumped in her lap.
Yeah.
Wow.
And coming from that, she was kind of like in the situation of like, I kind of want to get out there, but not. Not really kind of thing. And so social media was safe.
Yep, that was the only safe place.
It was safe. And so, she really used that and it's like, okay, well, I can get to know somebody, but I don't really have to put myself out there like that. So
got you.
Because that was the thing. It was of course heartbreaking, but when I was in a city that I'm not from, but everybody that was at the college we attended, everybody pretty much knew everybody because they all kind of came from some of the same high schools. So then I had to be very mindful of now who am I getting involved with and
gotcha.
living. And then like Janae lived off campus, but I lived on campus. So being on campus, of course, it was limited because everybody really knew everybody. So you really had to be mindful of like who you were dating or who you were seeing because you didn't know what lines crossed. And that was where I got caught up. Didn't know that lines were being crossed. And lines were crossed multiple times. And so that was you will lie, you will cheat, you will heartbreak. Right, I know.
Then I'm like this.
And then you see people's faces and you be like, okay, can't say that name, can't say that name, can't say that name.
Okay. Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm really should have been like the last person, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
It really should have been the last person.
Yeah.
But
Wow. That's interesting. Continue. This story is definitely unfolded, I think, because it's unfolding.
Mo was over there learning stuff.
I'm learning, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Stupid Jake.
So Jake
works out for me, but
but you know what though, like as we say, Jake again, like I say, Jake really should be this next person, but
yeah,
we're gonna keep with the trend. But Jake really should have been this next person because Jake was a learning experience,
right?
Gotcha.
A true learning experience, and with all the things, and so.
Because prior to Jake was actually a guy that I was dating when I was in high school, so that had that longevity of a relationship, and then Jake, and then that was, that moment in time.
Wow.
So, yeah. So after that, it was like, okay, I would like to date somebody, but you was too far. And then, you had the other people that were popular at the time. So it was like, okay, people that like me, I like you too, but we can't do nothing because, I know that this group of people like you. So it was it put me in a difficult spot. Because I was like, okay, well, what do I do? So it was just, all right, we're going to just do everything online. And so I not only met, you online, but I had like true platonic male friendships that were also online.
So you were running an online scam.
I was not running an online scam. Why gotta be a scammer? I was not catfishing anybody. I was who I was. My pictures were of me.
Thank God.
My profile was of me.
Thank God.
I just had, you know, my bestie like helping me vet people. Like we was combing through profiles. We was checking out because those of you who don't know MySpace, and you're not from the MySpace era, the way MySpace worked, it was just like an actual web page. So you had your site with your name. You had, you know, your top, you could do your top 10 or top 8 friends or top 5. And then you had pictures, but you had to put in the HTML codes because you had to do your profile and you can add music, you can add backgrounds, you can add all these different things. And so that was our coding in our day.
We were coding for real.
We were legit coding and coming up with the codes and stuff to do our background. So that was one, our learning experience. But two, it just opened up a doorway for us to meet people that were other places outside of being in chat rooms. Because chat rooms were something else during our time that was something that was jumping. But see, chat rooms, we knew that there was a danger to it because people were hiding behind it. At least MySpace kind of gave you something to look at. And so one of the things I kept doing with your page is I would check and see what females were leaving you comments.
She was stalking like a mother. I thought I was in the friend zone.
Let me tell you something.
I thought you said too far. No, I was already canceled.
For real, let me tell you something. That the MySpace era is when I became a private investigator.
Wow.
And even,
she got her certificate and everything.
I did. When I tell you, and even now, my friends will tell you now, I can find out something about somebody in 4 minutes. Not 5, but 4.
I'm going to talk to her after the show's over.
You most certainly can. You most certainly can. But no, we went and we were like, okay, he's a real person. No, because
real person.
You really, you knew, you didn't know who was real. You didn't know who wasn't. Because I gambled. Like it was always a gamble. So when I first met Janae on MySpace, it was when she created the Facebook account, you knew it had to be a real person because she had to have that college ID.
Right.
Got you.
So that was the link. If you was on MySpace, but you also had a Facebook, then that was the commonality because everybody could not get Facebook.
Right. And look, and there you were, Mr. MySpace.
Then you were Facebook. Mr. MySpace because you couldn't do Facebook at that time.
Right.
Well, I went to college, but I didn't go to college.
Yeah, I already know you. Yeah. He's on the campus.
Awesome parties.
So sad.
Y'all are crazy on college. Let's see how y'all get work done. Go ahead. Friend zone, canceled, too far.
Too far. But but I liked you I liked what I saw. And then we still go back and forth about the inbox thing. Like who inboxed who first, how the number got played out. Like we still,
I saw you. I liked you. I wanted you.
I feel like you inboxed her first.
Thank you. See, I said that.
I just said, I don't know.
But it wasn't like anything big. It was like
that's it.
It was always hey.
It was an introduction.
Yeah, it wasn't anything, you know. It wasn't
I really wasn't into soft what light through yonder window break is you and
it was kind of like a hey.
It was
But the funny part was that you all were talking in between you going to class because remember you would be like, oh, I missed them, and then you would come back and respond and then go to class.
Because we phone because I didn't have your number then.
Well,
So it was literally carrying around a laptop, trying to get logged in, checking MySpace in between class. Yeah, because we used to hang out in the student center.
Well, I wasn't in class. I was just,
you weren't in
doing what
definitely,
I do best.
He definitely went in class.
Doing what I do best.
So
look outside,
right? And then I think I gave you my number first, though. Because that's when we had them little rinky-dink phones. You can do nothing on phones then. This is where y'all, students, if you're watching this,
you're so spoiled and you got life.
You got Wi-Fi. You have all those things. We didn't have all that.
Nothing.
We had call and text.
Right.
Like, y'all ain't got to do codes or nothing.
That was before we even had like the real good pictures.
Yep.
We didn't get good pictures in like 2008.
Yeah. It was later.
Yeah.
We had to be creative.
We did. Did.
We had like the little the remember when we could first do like the little the songs was on like a small little bite. You got like maybe like 3 little lines. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's it. And then your voicemail was a song playing in the background.
We're aging ourselves.
Just so old.
It
It's like, oh my, we were the first generation with ringtones.
We were.
God,
Oh my goodness.
But
First ringtones.
help us,
And it
Father.
sounded digitized.
Yeah,
That was the crazy
yeah.
part.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah.
All right, continue on.
That was.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness. So let me see. Hold on.
So I was. You said. So I did inbox.
You
first.
did inbox first. You said hi, and like I said, it was real simple. Hey,
Yeah, hey.
I'm trying to think of when y'all lost touch, because it was like,
I can tell you.
I can tell you exactly.
I can tell you exactly when it was too.
but hold on, let's backtrack, because weren't you supposed to come here?
He was talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember that.
He was talking about coming here
Yes, come here to visit.
because we had already exchanged number. We had do in between talking, but a lot of talking still was communicating on MySpace.
Our communication was insane.
Right, and it was funny because when they started getting rid of MySpace, I had all those messages and stuff, and we was also emailing because that's when we had Yahoo Messenger. So we was messaging back and forth. You had the Yahoo account, and then I had a Hotmail account.
Yeah.
Because we had no Google and all this other stuff. We had it. So we were talking on that, and then you were talking about coming to visit since I was in college. And I was like, okay, that works.
I was gonna make my way down.
Yeah, but you never did.
Right.
Well, you know why.
You never came.
I know why you didn't.
You know exactly why we didn't come down.
So, I think the biggest conversation we had was we went on that convention with the communication department. And we went. That's where you was trying to come to. When we went to.
I think y'all was in the area.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We were in. Where did we go?
I'm trying to
Was
remember.
that Kentucky? Yeah.
Was it Kentucky?
Was it Kentucky?
I don't remember where you all went, but I remember when you went out. I remember when you went to the convention, but I don't remember what happened. When?
Or was that Nashville? That might have been Nashville.
Yeah, I know
it was Nashville
because I know it was close, but not close enough.
Yeah, it was Nashville because it was it was your line sister when we went. It was all three of us. We drove up.
Okay.
And then that weekend I spent all day, all night, sitting outside talking to you. And I was like, yeah, I see you. He's like, oh yeah, you're not far. That's only X amount of drive.
And did MapQuest that guy.
I was real navigation.
Right.
Supposed to have all that printed out.
So,
This is like going way.
It is like we have.
So
Oh my goodness.
Like this.
So what MapQuest is, for those of you that don't know, you're like, what is a MapQuest? So MapQuest, you were able to type in the directions and then you had to print them out, and they just gave you, turn left. It was all written out. You could do it with pictures too, but you had to actually have the written directions.
Man.
We didn't have Google. We didn't have car navigation. We didn't have cell phone navigation. We had MapQuest.
So and then I think years down the line they had them little TomToms.
The regular GPS.
But before then, I knew for a fact.
You MapQuested it.
Like you better have somebody like, hey man, hold up, turn that. That was your GPS
it
right
was.
there.
You had to have a passenger.
Your passenger to let you know.
Because if you had it on your seat, it was gonna blow.
It was gonna blow, or you was gonna crash trying to grab it.
Yeah.
So we talked, and then it was after that when all that stuff went down.
I know.
Like, whew.
So that's what it was. And then I remember that day because I was on the way to class, and I was on the shuttle, and I got a phone call, and I was like, "Ooh, he calling." Got it. Hello.
Yeah.
I really did.
I remember that day.
Because we were sitting at the picnic tables, and I was heated. And so I got a phone call, and it just happened to be
let me drink to this.
A young lady was on the other end of Mo's phone, and she decided to read his book from his side of where he was from, and I didn't like it because it made me feel like, hey, this is another repeat Jake. I ain't even got time. And
but now it makes sense. Like I have more understanding of why you reacted the way that you reacted at first. Even to this day, I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm sitting here trying to tell you, like, Hey, A is A, B is B, and C is C. You're talking about Z is Y and Y is L.
Because that's how it was.
You know, so having that beginning context clue gives me like, oh, now if you'd have led with in the midst of all that turmoil, like, well, I was communicating, like, you know, before even meeting you, this would happen. I had this type of betrayal. I had this type. See, it makes sense now. See, now I'm like, okay, because at first I was beefing with her for a while, like, you know what I'm saying?
But you gotta think too. Back then, Tiff was not a communicator at all. Tiff was like,
whatever. Oh, that's what. Oh, okay.
Because the great part, it's hard for me to tell because that's all we did was communicate.
No, like we communicate on that area, but when you cross me or when something happened that I didn't like, it was like, okay, whatever. I ain't even got time.
It was like, just, do not explain.
Like, do not explain. I don't want to hear about it, and that's why I didn't give you the chance because that was the cut. Nope, don't want to talk about it.
He too far away anyway.
Moving on to the next. Like it had to be one of those things because, but on the flip side of that though, that's what you were getting, but she was getting. But I spent all day and all night talking to him on the phone, and that like it wasn't what I was giving you the cold shoulder, like I'm hard.
No, that was below zero.
Yeah.
Frostbite.
Not frostbite.
No, frostbite.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
My heart. You know what I'm saying? You was a little cold hearted.
But it wasn't just one call. It was more than one call. Yeah. It was multiple calls, and then that's when I was like, okay, I can't even deal.
Yeah, because at that point, that was when she asked, because you were talking about blocking the number. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, it was that right there.
It was a lot.
It was a
whole lot. And then I remember you ended up calling from a different phone to say she took your phone and was trying to explain all that. And the reason, because I know the audience is like, well, why? The reason that I backed off is because a baby was involved.
That's what I say. It was a baby involved.
So it was two actually involved at that time.
Shacking and racking.
You were shacking and racking.
I heard about
which wasn't an issue. Well, that was an issue too that I kept saying. I said, but he got these kids, and you said, "What'd you tell me?" I was like, "I don't want to date nobody with no kids." And what'd you say?
So look, Mo, I've always been on your side. I just want to let you know this.
Team Mo out this month.
I just want to let you know this because my rationality with her was, what if I have a child?
Yep.
Ooh.
And I was like, I would never want anybody to count me out because
on.
I have a child.
Yep.
And I was like, if it was under different circumstances, because I kept saying that, because when the old girl called, we were like, hold on now. Mm-hmm. And it's just because, when you think about it, she was getting one side of you. Mm-hmm. But then you had a third party come in and she told her side of the story, and we were like, whoa. And even back then, we were always the type of women that were like, we're not going to be the source of another woman's tears. Mm-hmm. And so that's where she was coming from. Yeah. And she was like, I like him a lot, but
isn't that crazy?
I'm not about to do
But that's crazy because you didn't want to be the source of another woman's tears, but you wanted to be the source of a man's tears.
Oh, man, stop.
I'm just saying.
Ooh, that was smooth.
I mean, because if looked at it in the whole picture,
yeah.
And I understand, womanhood, don't want to see another woman hurt, but a genuine guy who is like literally heartfelt, told you everything from the sun up to the sundown, long walks, as if we were like next to each other. Like, only thing missing was physical touch, but for the most part, it's just like, listen, how much time, like, because it was hours for me.
It was hours.
And I'm speaking. I'm gonna speak from my side because I felt like it was hours. How much time in between to do anything else for the most part? Because I look forward to talking to you.
Like 4 hours. I think it used to be 4 hours. You can talk for 4 straight hours, and then the phone would cut out. The phone would automatically hang up. Yeah. And then we would turn around and call right back as long as we had like battery life.
You talking about falling asleep on the phone?
Yeah.
So
look, bring that back.
You know,
right.
Bring
back falling
I mean,
asleep.
we fall asleep next to each other now.
But she's about for those the single.
Listen, single men, if you are, I'm joking,
No, for real, bring
gonna
that back.
vet you.
Right.
Yes,
let's vet you first.
But for real, bring that back because that communication piece was there, and that was the foundation. And so years later, when it came back around, it was like it never stopped because
definitely,
that foundation was there. But look, we'll pause and go back.
Go ahead. You were saying about women didn't want to see another woman hurt, so you can pick up from there. So
but no, during that time though, Tiff was hurt. Yeah, she was hurt.
I was like, that's two hurts.
Right,
as you would say, 2 monies. That was 2 hurts.
Yeah,
and then to hear it because it was almost as if like I knew you had you were forthcoming that you had kids, but the way it got dumped was almost kind of like, well, dog, is it more than that? Yeah, like just the way it was worded, and then the intent behind it, and that's what, because of what happened with Jake, and it was some of the similar things. Like, yeah, no, I just can't. I can't. So for me, it was easier for me to just block the number. Instead of like, I didn't believe in get my number changed. I had already done all of that before. And so it was like, well, she's not going to make me change my number. But what I can do is I can just block this number or not answer. And then I didn't know anybody else with the same area code. So I knew if I got a different number, because you tried explaining multiple times, but I just did not want to. I just wasn't hearing it. I wasn't going for it because she had already then called and tainted that, and I was already done.
Yeah, my name was drugged through the mud.
Yeah,
it was
in my clean state too.
Yeah,
everyone.
There were plenty of calls because that day when it happened, and I remember because I was at work. I was at work.
Yeah,
and I don't even remember exactly what's going. I think you were.
I had just got to the Davidson.
Yeah,
and I was outside
you were walking.
Yeah, I was walking.
You were pacing.
Yep, I was walking back and forth in front.
Yeah,
right there because they had them picnic tables. Because it was warm outside. So, yeah.
So how did you? Because you said you, for the most part, you were Team Mo, right?
I was,
which is awesome.
I was.
It's always good to have somebody in your corner fighting for you, even when you can't fight for yourself.
Right.
So around about that time when that happened, what was your thoughts towards me then? Were you Team Mo or Team, son, girl, do what makes you happy?
She was still Team Mo.
I was still Team Mo. I was still, honestly, when it came to you all, I've always been Team Mo.
She was Team Mo through all the other foolishness, through
everything. Yeah. The only thing that I told her, I was like, if you're going to proceed with this, be cautious. That was it. And I said that because you never know to what extent somebody else is going to do to harm you. It wasn't about you. It was about the outside person. Right. Because like I said, back then I was putting on the all black. I was like,
ski mask.
Do we need to ride?
Right. She was
ski mask.
Yeah. Not even ski mask, but if something. It was the type of bond that me and Janae shared was if something was wrong, it was literally sisterly bond because. At that time, my sister was still a kid. She was like, she was like a baby. She was still a baby, so I didn't have a big sister. So Janae became my big sister. So when something was wrong, she was ready to go. And so that's what happened with Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, and Tiffany had me riding.
I had her riding, and then I had the other story. Like anybody, because I didn't have a car. I knew how to drive, but I didn't go to college with a car because my mom couldn't afford that. So all of my friends had cars, and so we went riding often. And then I had some of the guys that graduated with me from high school.
So you always like the local set it off people.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank God for no jail time.
Right, thank God, definitely.
Let me tell you something. Thank God for no jail time and deliverance because
yes, Lord.
Yeah, I'm in quite a few memories of people. They like, Janae was crazy. I was.
Yeah.
Wow. As
We
she
did.
whispers. Whisper makes it seem even more crazier.
No, because I was.
Okay. Praise God for deliverance.
Praise God for deliverance.
Right.
He
it
is
was.
mighty, mighty good.
Like we did, and I mean, and it was crazy because we really, it was really reckless. But I guess in the time we were growing up in, it wasn't like if somebody tried to do that now, the consequences. We knew the most you was gonna get was, you know, somebody cussing you out, like that type of thing. But you know, physically, we weren't gonna fight over a guy. That was the one thing we said. But to validate whatever hunches we had going on, that women's intuition, when we got that gut feeling on something, it was like, let's ride.
Yep.
Or if it didn't go away, she's like, you want to go ride? Nah. Okay, yeah, let's go. And she would come pick me up.
So let's get back to the I'm going to say the lie.
Not the lie.
The deceit.
To the seat. I'm trying to think how long did that go?
Because we parted ways for
long time.
Right, because then
a very long time.
Let's call him
Johnny Gill.
No. We're gonna call him Gerald.
Levert?
Yeah.
Which one?
Not Lil Gerald. That also had a lot of kids.
No, I'll say on the hill.
And then that one came next. Because before, so let's back up a little bit. So before you and before Jake, my high school, the guy I was dating, that when I left high school and came to college, I ended up, my friend out in California that I told you, I was like, hey, that was my first godson. Okay, so on his birthday, that high school guy, he proposed. So that was like my very first proposal. But I didn't call it that.
What'd you call it?
It was just I just called it was just a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all knew that was like above, because I don't even know how many years older than see. He was older. He was older too. And then, you know, my mama done told you about that one. That's the one she was like, I ain't like him at all. Yeah. So, and then after that was
like
you're in there now.
She did.
Look at the look.
I think I'm accepted.
Sometimes.
Been around for quite a while. It's kind of like,
he ain't going nowhere.
He's here now.
Right. So then that's when Jake came in, and then we had the other one that had the ring. Remember?
Yes.
Wait, how many times were you proposed to, sister?
2.
Yeah.
2.
2.5.
2.5.
It's a 0.5?
You saved her from the 0.5.
Yeah, you saved me from the 0.5.
We'll get there later.
So right. So 2. So after that issue with you and the lie.
I'm about to say it wasn't an issue with me.
The lie. After the lie. So after that, we had the other issue with engagement, but that was very toxic. That was extremely toxic. But Janae, of course, had her thoughts on that as well.
Maurice, I had to pick her up.
She called you by your whole name.
Whole name.
You mean Mo?
Look, whole name. That's how serious this is.
Yeah.
I had to pick her up and bring her to my house.
Yeah.
And I kept her there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was stuck.
Because I was like,
I was stuck.
girl.
I was so stuck that, remember, the professor, or my advisor, I'll say, had to say, hey, wherever you are, I need you to stay there and do not come this way.
Yes.
So it's like, if you got class, it was like, if you got
that.
class, don't show up to class. And I was like, what? And I'm like, God.
Because that right there.
Yeah. And then that one, when I was like, okay. And that's...
Well, then, how long did we break apart then?
I
remember you telling me about that.
When your next hey, because this was the trend. So the MySpace message started with a hey. The text messages also started with a hey. So the next time, because it sounds like it was falling apart, but I had only known that person, that moved real quick. It moved quick, and it started quick, ended quick.
Because I want to say that was what, 6 month wrap up,
if that.
Yeah, because
so that started quick, ended quick.
Interesting.
And it needed to end,
and it needed to. Yeah, it shouldn't have ever started. To be honest with you, it really shouldn't have.
It's because of me.
It was.
Well, not me, but
yeah,
the lie.
Situation.
The lie.
Look,
the situation.
The situation.
The situation.
But it was though, because it was kind of like a.
It was crazy. That was
like
insane.
What? Yeah.
That was real crazy.
That there have only been 2 times within over a 20-year span.
Yeah.
That I have been afraid for her.
Yeah. That was the first one.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
So
and then after that, it was like, hey, whatever that advisor said, whatever ring you have, you need to give it back. Mm-hmm. If you're not wearing, whether you're wearing it or not, I'm like, I ain't wearing it. Get it. You know, that was my thing. And so I don't even know how it got back. But I know then came up graduation then started approaching. And then that's when I met.
Well, let's not go through all the spills.
No, I'm saying, but this is when you came back. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, because I know we went from Jake from State Farm.
Yep.
Then Johnny Gill or Gerald Levert or Lil Gerald.
Lil Gerald.
On the hill.
Lil Gerald on the hill.
And now we're at.
And then this was but these were the 3. This is why. But these
Jonathan
are the 3.
Now.
Okay. Yeah.
And Jonathan.
Yeah.
Child, look, this is 0.5.
Which also, I met through Ajo on MySpace.
Look, online. Tiffany needed to stay offline.
I got to a point where I needed to
She was hurt. She was hurt.
I was.
She was broken.
She was.
And so that's when that occurred. And then I was out there not even a full year. And then that's when your second hey came. Mm-hmm. And you were like, hey.
All right, now my turn to tell the Ohio side. Of course, I didn't have such a great friend. I did have a friend.
You did.
I did.
He was fire.
I
mean, well, he still is. Well, we cool. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think, oh, he dead? No, he's not dead.
No, he's not dead.
He's still alive.
And actually talked a lot on your behalf, too. Because he tried calling, too.
See?
Yeah.
Still denied.
Yeah,
denied.
Yeah, because the crazy part, I wanted them two to hook up. So then,
you did.
And did. Yep, I was like, that'd have been fire.
Let me just blame it on myself. It was me.
Yeah.
I said that'd have been fire.
That was because that was the conversation.
We would have been the couples.
Right. Yeah, but it was me.
Yeah. So she has some growing to do.
Yeah.
I'm disagreeing. But I remember being home after all that happened, man, because I was in I would say in a bad state. I think a lot of times we hear women when they get broken hearted, just like, yeah, she deserves, to heal or do whatever she need to do. But the other flip side of that is I remember I think a couple of days before that even happened, telling my mom was like, who you on the phone with? And I was like, I'm talking to your daughter. Because for me, I had already claimed her as, that's wifey, like. And I would always tell my sisters, hey, that's going to be y'all sister. This and I'll be, I was doing things like, listen, this getting them ready. Then after that happened, I was like, so where your friend at? It's like, well, got over it now. Yeah. So in the midst of that, end up having children, and I think a lot of times when you are brokenhearted, you look for different things and different avenues to fill that void. And that's basically what it was. And it wasn't that, I began to sleep around with different women. I'm really more of a long-term type of relationship type of guy. Mm-hmm. Even with my son's mothers, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, in a relationship on and off for like 10 years, and wanted to propose, Had, I mean, well,
Yeah.
after rejection. So, because me, I always wanted marriage.
Yeah.
I always wanted to wake up to one person. I never wanted to sleep with multiple people and then be like, oh man, do I got to go to the clinic? Or being uncertain about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing, I don't know if that's how I was raised, but for the most part, I always wanted that, that Bonnie and Clyde type of ordeal. You know what I'm saying? That rider. I didn't want, if people always ask, like, back in the day, what was my type? I used to love a hood chick. I used to love a good chick that was, because most hood chicks, they're loyal to a fault. Like, listen, I would be like, hey, listen, their hood chicks be like, okay, listen, I'm about to go rob this bank. Okay, we got to do what we got to do. And we'll ride out with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I wanted that, but it's just that loyalty.
Yeah.
So in the midst of end up having kids, and of course, things went sideways. For some reason, relationship never worked out. Just never. Like, it just never worked out because I kind of knew where my heart was. It's kind of like you doing it, but
it ain't really what you want.
It's like,
yeah,
that person that got away. But for the most part, I was driven into some dark areas. That's how I knew, like, losing her, like, to me, shifted a lot for me. That's when I ended up doing a lot of stuff. I think when we started back talking, it was just like, I ended up telling her all the stuff. I was like, I was a whole different person. I was a wild boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were.
Straight wild boy.
Because I think before the final, like, okay, yeah, we talking. Before then, I told you, I was like, yeah, I live here now. And you was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I can't talk. And I remember telling you, I said, I can't talk to you like that because I'm in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
And so, again, it was that rejection part of it. But a lot of it still stand back. Well, I really couldn't use he has kids anymore at that point.
Because you had kids.
Right.
Not for real.
Right. But I really could, like, that was no longer the excuse. But then the other excuse was he too far. But then this lady still called. Like, I was still stuck on that. This lady still called. And so, but how did you feel when when I told you, I was like, this is where I'm at and I can't. Now I'm pushing you off.
I had to respect it because I'm not a person that intrudes on another man's territory. I was never like that because I feel like it's karma behind that.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before somebody intrude on your stuff. Like, I feel like you get what you put out, it definitely comes back. And I had no choice but to respect. Was I inside like, man, I know I'm better than that dude. I know I'll run circles around him. He's not me.
You said that though, because it was on that's when I was and I told her, I said, well, if you want to talk to me, I can't talk to you over the phone. But I was like, you can Facebook me. And he's like, I ain't on no Facebook.
Couldn't stand it.
And that's when, because Facebook had just then opened up to everybody. And I'm like, just get on Facebook. He's like, no, because if you want to talk to me, then you need to log in MySpace. So here I am, having to go back
to the foundation.
Had to go back in MySpace to at least message if I wanted to check in here and there. And then I know eventually, though, you did get on MySpace and you created an account, but you didn't have any pictures. Because I remember telling you, I was like, hey,
guess the blank Facebook?
Yeah, the blank Facebook. So there was no connection. So I would be messaging, but nobody knew who I was messaging because there was no picture. And you didn't have to have all that. You didn't have to have like your real name. You didn't have to have no image. Everybody just had the little blue man.
Yeah.
And you had
That's all. It was blank.
It was blank. It was literally a blank
Ohio.
page. That's it. That's all you saw.
Kind of like here.
That's it. And I'm like, and I remember telling you, I was like, yeah. I was like, guess who I heard from? Because I would always say, guess who? I was like, and you be like, who? And I'm like, Reese.
What you mean, Mo?
That's
I love him, Mo.
Mo.
ruin this. Go ahead.
No.
Well, I actually said I always called you Rice, and you hated it.
Yeah.
And so I would say, Rice call you said D. And then we would go from, and she was like, well, how did that make you feel? And like, just, she always went back. Like, there was never a moment where Janae didn't bring back to my remembrance of, but remember you had those conversations. Because I'd be like, I'm living like this, and this is crazy. Well, what about that one guy?
You're too far away. We got crazy people calling.
But listen.
Right. That, look, and it was the, but listen.
But there's more.
But right.
But there's
Come
more.
on.
But there's more. And then it wasn't until I was graduating. And then, I was actually in the midst of where I was always coming back home. I don't know how many times. I was coming home on a regular. Like, you would think that I was in driving distance. That's how much I, like, frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, you did.
I don't even think that would, yeah. Like, I was coming back and forth on a regular. So when I would come back, then that would be some of the times you would hear from me I would message you then because I wasn't in the house, So I was a little sleep with it. But I remember one of the Facebook messages you sent me, and you were like, my grandma told me to never put all my eggs in one basket. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's when I wanted to throw in the towel.
I was like, what? So I remember telling you about that message.
Boy.
And you said, and I think you asked me, like, what did I say? Or did I call? And I'm like, mm-mm. And I'm like, I can't right now because I really literally could not talk. And so it was trying to, again, catch you on and off because we stayed online. Like, that was just what we did. But you weren't a techie person then. It's crazy because you into all that stuff now. But you weren't into all of that. So it was literally a hit and miss. And it was like, dang, I just missed him. He was just online, like, because MySpace showed when you were online. And so I knew, like, dog, I just missed the light. And or it'll tell you, like, last login, and it gave you all the deets. Like, you had all the details. And that was that thing. Is just I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what do I do? I'm in this situation. And then she knew what was going on because I was coming home or I was calling her. And then when you came out, that was when, like, I think if she could have been, like, wrecked the whole place, she probably would have wrecked the whole place. Like, she probably would have tore some walls down. Because that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
So you've seen it?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
She can't. Yeah, she walked right on into it.
How'd you feel? Let's talk.
Look,
let's chat.
I'm over here now.
Just
like,
look,
it's bringing back memories. Look, tears in my eye, memories.
We're gonna need therapy after this. If you
listen,
try out BetterHelp. No, I'm sorry.
They're not sponsoring us, but hey, BetterHelp.
But seriously, tear in my eye because I remember who you were in that moment, and I was like, "Where is my friend?" Because she was in such a dark place, but it was like kind of like having somebody, like, her spirit was gone and she was just going through this motion, and I'm like, girl, you are better than this, you deserve better than this. And so I remember being there and witnessing it for myself. And it's one of those things to where, like, somebody on the outside, they have everything. And it was like, this person, they had the house, they had the job, they had the car, they had the stuff, but he was empty and he was draining her. For my wife, for my children, it's